I'm your host Sully, and we're doing some more rap music history. With me, I brought in social media blogger, lawyer, and model Anna. And there goes Anna.
Hey
Welcome.
y'all.
Hey
Model
y'all.
model is too kind, Cam. You can't be
Yeah.
just telling people that. I am a photography enthusiast.
Okay. It's a better name. Okay. Rejected. Expect that.
No, that's not rejected. That's not rejected. That's close. I just don't want anybody to be like, Drake said you have to be you only a model if you've been on Vogue, and I never been on Vogue, so I don't want the real models to be like,
Yeah,
she's not a
well,
model.
Drake isn't exactly the number one rapper now, so what does he know?
Ooh, okay,
Not a
shots
diss. I don't mind
fired.
Drake. I'm just
Okay,
saying.
shots fired. Who's the number one rapper?
Well, right now, well,
Yeah.
shit.
See, I gotta put you on the spot, Cam, because you
I
came
know.
out
It's
guns
fine. It's
blazing.
fine. I was asking for it. I taste my own medicine all the time. So I guess you could say right now, right here in the world, I guess you could say Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay, Megan's good. You
Uh,
think Megan is number one?
well, if we're talking number one, are we talking number one of all time?
That's
Or are
what
we
you
talking?
said.
I,
Well,
th- I
I don't
thought you.
know. You said Drake isn't number one, so I don't know what number
I
one
I
you was
just meant
talking about.
right now, like who's
Okay.
trending right
All
now.
right. All
All
right.
I
All
see.
right. All right.
I do dig Rihanna. Now of all time,
I love
like
Rihanna.
who am I gonna listen to every day? I'm gonna go with Body Count.
Really?
I love it when you mix metal with rap.
Really?
Yes.
Now, what I have heard limited songs in that kind of like crossover genre. So who's like the best? Like if I wanted to, you know how
Body
Apple
Counts
does
is
like
Body Counts Ice-T's band.
I See the Rapper?
Yes, Body Counts is
Oh,
rap
I
metal
did not
band.
know he had a band.
Yeah,
He had a metal band?
he still does.
I See is still doing music?
Yes.
I'm about to look
That's
this
why you
up.
only
I'm
see him
not
on.
saying you wrong. I just you saw me just now I feel bad
No, it's
because
fine. That's why you see him
I
on
feel like
half an
I don't
SVU
even know this
season.
history. Okay, hold on. Body count.
Yeah. Dirty
Really?
bomb.
Yeah,
No
90s.
one is
No.
safe.
I had no idea. Wow. Now I feel bad. I
No,
don't feel
it's
like
fine.
I'm the music guru I thought
It
I
doesn't
was.
help that like many people he was banned from the radio because everyone misinterpreted what cop killer meant. It was like that's
Is it ambiguous?
people like to assume they know everything the song is saying, and it's like just listen to it. But Ice doesn't care. He knows people are dumb.
Listen, I feel like to be any kind of artist, you have to have a level of like everyone's not going to rock with your opinion. And that's anybody doing anything. Like most people might not rock with your whatever. So if you feel it, you got
Absolutely.
to say it cuz whatever. Now, the reaction you get, depends on what you say. We can't
It's a big
control how
one.
people respond to what you say, but if you feel like you got to be true to yourself. Now
Mhm.
I'm looking at this, okay, track listing. There goes the neighborhood,
Yep.
voodoo, balls of the devil.
Oh yeah.
That's aggressive.
Yeah, he is
Balls of the
aggressive.
devil. It is very aggressive. Mama's gotta die tonight, cop killer. It's a lot of death.
Yep.
Track list.
The dude is gritty, but I think much like DMX, he just feels so empowered and kind of validated in a way, just listening to the material and just knowing, hey, he's very philosophical. He doesn't play around.
Yeah, yeah. And also, he's such a talented guy. I mean, he did a Law and Order SVU for
Yep.
years.
Remember when he was on New York Undercover before that?
I don't remember that actually. How long was he on New York
It was
Undercover?
like a recurring villain for about 3 to 5 episodes, and it was just interesting how intimidating he was there. But that started the whole Dick Wolf allegiance.
Oh,
So
I did not know that.
yeah,
Come on, history facts. I
no,
did
it's
not
all
know that.
good. It's hard to keep up with half this stuff.
I mean, but no, it's really impressive. Because it's like I only have so much brain capacity. You know what I mean? I'm kind of uncertain of my pop culture knowledge. My brain capacity is just not where it could be.
It's all good. How did you get into music of any kind? Really, like, were you more into pop? Were you into R&B?
So I'm mostly into R&B, hip hop, rap, that kind of genre. So I'm from Detroit. And
Nice.
growing up in Detroit, Detroit is a predominantly Black city. So of course, there's a lot of Black arts, so like
Nice.
jazz and just other different kind of like soul music. At that time, I was growing up, like neo soul was kind of spreading,
Sweet.
and it was just a really good time. So anyway,
I missed you
I
last
watched.
fall. I just did an Ann Arbor
Oh,
wedding
really?
last year.
Boo! I went to MSU, so go green, go white.
Go green.
I'm like, yeah. So I'm sorry, but Ann Arbor is a beautiful city.
Yeah.
And all seriousness, Ann Arbor is a beautiful city. But anyway, when I was a kid and I was growing up, I felt that all the, I guess who I felt was the cool kids at school knew like the popular music and stuff.
Hmm.
And so like I used to, when I would do my homework, I used to listen to music on the radios all the time. But there was what I mentioned about just the city and the culture is on the radio. A lot of times the radios would throw events and parties, and they would have like um games and stuff where you list a
Sweet.
certain, like they'll play the songs, but and if you can call in and name all the songs or guess like number 8 or whatever, they would give you prizes. People would win
That's
trips or
nice.
CDs or concerts. And like so I started keeping lists of stuff so I could call into the radio. So like now I'm like familiarizing myself with the music, having to recall the names, like um, and I don't know, just kind of be ahead of it. And then also a big time in Black culture when I was growing up was music videos. So like 106 in Park on BET was
There
a
you
very
go.
popular platform. There was Big Tigga, like Rap City in the Basement, which came on after 106 in Park. But then also in the mornings, MTV used to have like Spring Bling, and they used to have
Yes, they
the
did.
TRL, like basically all these like music countdown shows where you're like seeing the top 10 videos or the top 10 soul or the top 10 whatever. And I felt like that for me was an introduction into
Very
music.
enlightening.
But it's different now because at that time you didn't have streaming, so like radio was relevant at that time and music
Yeah.
videos were a little bit more relevant. Like now music videos come out, but like more or less so you can see a 30-second short of whatever the whole concept is. But like even back at that time, really before streaming, because all we had like streaming was AOL Music Plus, which was
Right.
like,
What's that? Yeah.
yeah. And we had LimeWire where we were like, and Napster where we were like straight up stealing. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't even streaming. It was like legit stealing of MP3s.
Oh
But
yeah,
anyway, that's the
Napster.
long, yeah, 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 yeah. So that's the
I was a Media Fire
long-winded
guy
version
myself.
of. You were a LimeWire guy?
Oh, Media Fire.
Media Fire.
That was
See,
another.
I was a LimeWire girl, and I used to use BearShare as well. And I never used Napster, but I used to make mix CDs and take them to school and stuff. Like I used to mix all type of music. I forgot about that too. I guess that's part of it. I used to do posters like in my room at home. I had a full
Sweet.
like Word Up magazine, J14, Teen Vogue, all the teenage girl magazines that had the posters in them. I had them,
Man, look at you go.
lockers, posters. And my first ever celebrity crush is 50 Cent, who
There you
happens to
go.
be
Our
one
topic
of
tonight.
my
Nice.
favorite rappers.
By the way, have you ever, speaking of R&B, have you ever been mistaken for Sade?
No, well, actually, I don't want to say mistaken because I don't think nobody actually thinks I'm Sade. Like, I don't think anyone thinks that, but I get a lot of times that people will say that I favor her, especially when my hair is pulled back in a ponytail like this.
So now we know.
So,
That
but I do
upcoming
get that. I
biopic.
also get it's the light skinned black woman with the ponytail, like a little Snow Allegra. I get that occasionally, sometimes too.
Nice.
It just kind of depends on how I wear my hair. But to answer your question, yes. So I hope she don't see this and be offended. Like, girl, you do not look like me.
Oh,
Please
Sade's
stop
just
telling
amazing.
people that. I know she's so pretty.
Well, and her music just makes you feel just calm, where you're just like,
Good. I know,
see,
right?
life is an everlasting appeal. You don't have to worry.
Exactly. And I'm just like, and I'm like a lawyer, so which is literally the opposite of making people calm. I'm like chaotic, like I'm like everywhere, like evil twin, like so I saved you $100,000. You only have to pay like 50. So like it's a good day, right?
Oh, that's a trip.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
oh
yeah.
man,
So yeah. Love music, love music.
love music altogether. And I do kind of miss the days where kind of Fuse was kind of a thing and just all these other networks. I mean, G4 TV kind of had it figured out with video games, but now people are just kind of smack talking on Steam and Twitch. And I'm just like,
Yeah,
yeah,
like
the interaction is lost.
it's not the same. It's really just not the same anymore. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
knew that
a lot to
when
process.
the countdowns went away. Yeah.
Oh man, so where do we begin with the history of Curtis Jackson himself?
Okay. All right, Curtis Jackson.
Born from in Southwest Jamaica, Queens, New York City.
Queens for the kings and the queens.
For a minute, I don't know why I thought you were gonna pull a Nicki Minaj and go "Bees in the Trap."
I actually was, but it's not Bees in the Trap. It's the plain Jane remix with ASAP Ferg.
Oh my god.
It was Nicki Minaj, so that was close. You were on there.
Yeah. How do you think we're going to be able to describe rap music from this point on? Because there's still kind of like with rock and metal, there's so many who just they don't want to tell it apart. It all sounds the same to them. They choose to have it not make sense. How do we make this make sense to today's ever-changing generation that
How
doesn't
do
even
we
have an
make what
identity?
makes sense?
Oh, just rap music in general. Like, just say no. This is this artist who inspired this. Like I have to explain to my mother all the time. Like Eminem and Vanilla Ice, not the same person. Not even close.
um, I guess how we explain it, I guess it depends on where rap music goes from here. I think up until streaming kind of it's been kind of easy to explain because we have billboards, we have physical CDs, concerts, all this in streaming, and like the ability to be like a SoundClouder or like more ability for artists to be independent and have their own distribution and have their own management and things like that.
Hmm.
I think it depends on where we go musically, right? Like if that means that we're only going to do streaming from now forward, how popular something is might change or what that looks or feels like.
Right.
I think explaining the music, I think the music will last. Like as you know, we're celebrating the 50 years of hip hop, and I feel that even in these short 50 years, there has been a lot of timeless classics that still get played. You know what I mean? Like you have to
Hmm.
think the 90s was 30 years ago, and that was really only 20 years into hip hop. And to think the artists of the 90s, who the hip hop artists of the 90s at that time, East Coast, West Coast, South coming along. Um,
And
I
then
that music
Tupac
has
blows the lid
lasted.
off.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, exactly. West Coast, East Coast, but even
I
before
represent
Tupac,
this,
yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
from
Like
here.
even like you said, like Ice T, like Ice Cube, like, and that's like earlier hip hop, right? And then it just
Yeah.
kind of goes on into, and then you have somebody like, and then even for women rap has really exploded in the last like 10 years. I would
Hmm.
say, or maybe even before 10, maybe the last 15, I would say Nicki Minaj was a great bridge from Lil Kim, and Foxy Brown
There you
were
go.
great
Yeah.
bridges from like Queen Latifah. So like they're the music I think will last. I think it just depends on where we go from here, whether that looks like more women having visibility in rap and hip hop, whether that looks like the way the sounds even change. Like I
Hmm.
think the sounds were a lot different in the way the vocals were layered and things were different back in the 90s, early 2000s. Like a lot of it was like about dancing and being able to have choreography to the music videos. But now we have that in a different way, which is like TikTok dances, right? So like we have like TikTok
Yes, twerking.
artists. Exactly. Like you got like TikTok artists and it just looks different. Like, so somebody like a Coi Leray can be really, really popular because they have a soundbite that inspires people to listen to the whole record and listen to the whole song.
Now we have internet only releases too. So
Yeah, like Beyonce did a digital drop when I was in college. You know what I mean? And that was like crazy.
2010s. I think it was 2014 that came out.
It was 2013. Yeah, 2014. 2014.
Right.
So like 2013, 2014. Yeah. So like that whole concept of just not even having surprise releases where everyone can just go listen because it's a digital download.
Right.
So it's just different. You know what I mean? I think the music will last. The good music will permeate to the top now that we're overcrowded with music. Now, like I think I heard maybe like last year sometime that someone said like with SoundCloud and like all these other platforms for individuals to upload all their music to online, it would be enough to fill up a Home Depot warehouse, and you would not be able to get through the whole thing before a new Home Depot warehouse would have to be built like within 6 months of that's how much music is available, like every day.
Right. I'm listening to a few other fun music podcasts, and they're joking now how Billboard is sold out. If you want to even access all their charts, you have to have like an $11 a month subscription. I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Wow.
Why deny people history?
I don't know. And I don't even like the rankings all the time because sometimes I'm just like, what is the criteria for this?
I'm with
like,
you.
how are
all
y'all?
I listen to is satellite and college radio. So, but I'd like to at least be able to reflect on it and illustrate to people, hey, if you don't like these top 5, top 10 artists, support your local talents. They might be big stars someday.
Yeah, seriously. Seriously, you never know. Sometimes people like, but that's the beauty of streaming, though, right? Is because like I don't need $1 million in a record deal to be discovered at a talent show just to get visibility as an artist. Like I can kind of set up shop with my iPhone and get on TikTok and do something.
Right? You can be a star overnight, even, and there'll probably be 5 other apps that take its place. But for now, this is.
Exactly. Yeah. Like all these TikTok kids that are making money and getting on Jimmy Kimmel. I never been on Jimmy Kimmel. Right? You know what I mean?
Are you sure you want to be?
I don't know if I want to be on Jimmy because the first time the audience boo me, it's going to be a problem. I'm like, audience, y'all can cut up if y'all want.
Anna's going to wipe the floor with you guys. So.
I don't know about all that. I'm just going to cry on national television. Do y'all really want that?
No.
Exactly. Thank y'all,
one should
please.
Ever cry.
Especially not on Jimmy Kimmel. Like, why would y'all boo me? I don't know.
I don't know. People suck.
People do suck. Okay, I'm off topic. Curtis Jackson.
Curtis Jackson. So I knew he had a brush with death, but I didn't know what year it was.
What? You didn't know he got shot 9 times? That was like part of his storyline. I knew he
sang about it and rapped about it, but I didn't know the exact timeline and everything. So that was May 24th in 2000. Just before Columbia Records was supposed to release Power of the Dollar, an assassin attempted to take his life on the 161st Street in Jamaica, Queens. And that was near where, now here's where I mainly learned was this was where Jam Master Jay from Run DMC would be fatally shot 2.5 years later, and he would be, 50 Cent was investigated by the feds because they thought he was connected to it. Yeah, that was ruled to be BS, but that just shows you what profiling was being done back then, I guess.
Yeah.
So I knew about members Lloyd Banks. I didn't know about the other member, Tony Yayo.
Yayo.
Yayo. I'm the worst at pronouncing Yayo. I'm sorry, Mr. Yayo. It's not Yo-Yo. I knew about, how Dr. Dre was pretty much pimping him out and having him do duets with Eminem and what have you. And
not duets. Was he pimping him out though? Like I don't feel like I heard the story that way.
I kid around, but I.
Oh, okay. I'm like, hold on. Listen, I wasn't his go-to guy.
He was his go-to guy though for a while.
Yeah, but like that could be like a big homie type of deal. Like, now I don't know if this is gonna be the best example, but like like Birdman and Lil Wayne, but that situation, Birdman might have actually been taking money from Lil Wayne. But if he wasn't though, that's the situation I would be describing, like a little big homie situation. or like I'm about to help you, like uh what's that man name? Yo Gotti and Glorilla. Like that's the big homie, my
I
artist.
saw that Yo Gotti was one of 50's collaborators. Jeez,
Yeah, I mean they
man,
all make music together.
everybody. Even if you hate each other or diss each other, you got to be on a label together eventually.
I mean, it's only so many distribution labels, I feel like, or even record
Well,
labels,
it's getting lower.
like major.
Yeah, they're all buying each other out.
Yeah, they should be allowed to. I feel like that's antitrust violations, but whatever.
Yeah, pretty soon Disney will own all the record companies. But that's I'll bitch about Disney some other time.
Yep,
So do you feel like he made great use of his various radio hits and
absolutely. I honestly, one of the reasons I love 50 Cent as a little girl was because he fine. Let me just leave with that.
yeah, he's a handsome guy.
I mean, he's older now, but he is a handsome man, I think.
Yeah,
Um, everybody that knows me know this about me. Like, I love 50 Cent. Sorry to Cuban Link.
I
I
like him.
love her too. That's his girlfriend. She's cute too. Anyway, really loved the music. Growing up, like Get Rich or Die Trying was I think my introduction to 50 Cent. At the time, I might have been in middle school, maybe fifth, sixth, seventh grade, something like that. And I just felt he was entertaining. The
Hmm.
wordplay was really good. I felt, I don't know, like I also thought he just had a lot of swag at that time. Like I thought it was really cool. Like I thought the G Unit was really cool. And then I felt like at that time he was rolling out like merch. Like he had like shoes and everyone was wearing like G Units and that was like really a thing. Like
Yeah,
that was a thing for a while. He also had the tank tops that he used to wear, like his signature tank tops.
yes, he did.
Um, yeah, so he used to do that, and I
Everyone
thought
else was
that was
about the shoes and the hats, and he was pretty much just
the
about.
hats, the do rags, right? It was a whole vibe. Like he always had a whole look, and he was always in shape or appearing to be in shape,
Yes, he was.
which is what I appreciated. So that, and I thought he was a good artist. But I think the thing that I like the most about 50 Cent is how he was able to leverage the music into film and just into other business endeavors. And I think you just like Jay Z is probably my favorite rapper of all time. When you ask me
All
this,
right.
it's so crazy because I have different favorites for different things, but I love talking about 50 Cent
But breaking
because
it down is mind
I
blowing.
feel like people always talk about Jay Z, and I love Jay Z for the reasons probably everybody else loves him, but I don't think always 50 Cent gets enough credit um,
Yeah,
for being for how he's able to grow his wealth. In addition to just how he's able to pivot from one part of the entertainment industry into another, he also had vodka that was successful
I
as
saw
an
he did some
alcohol.
boxing promotion.
50 Cent is somebody who's into everything, and what I really respect about somebody like that is because I try to be a person like this, which is unafraid to try your hand at something
Adapt.
just because it interests you and for no other reason. Like worst case, it doesn't work out, but at
Yeah,
least you know that this doesn't work out. But on some level, if he tries alcohol, like and the alcohol works, and then I sell clothes and the clothes work, and then I sell movies and the movies work, and I sell music
right.
and the music work, like I'm obviously able to sell things. Um, like he was able to his series Power, he made into like a
Love
few
that show.
different spin-off show. It's a fantastic show. He
Yes.
made into a few different spin-offs, and he also was himself able to get into acting. And
Oh
also
yeah, Kanan is basically his alter ego.
he developed BMF as well, which is a Detroit-based series.
I still need to see that
Um,
Star show, but
it's a fantastic show. So I really respect that. I feel like I said he doesn't get as much credit as Jay Z does because Jay Z is a billionaire.
yeah,
Same
JC
thing
has
as
more
P
money.
Diddy. Yeah, you know what I mean. And like I said, like love Jay Z. He's one of my favorite artists of all time. Also, I know we're going to talk about Megan Thee Stallion. Nicki Minaj is also one of my. I think Nicki Minaj is my favorite woman rapper of all time.
All right.
I want to talk about Megan Thee Stallion because I love Megan Thee Stallion, and I think she is most relevant for me as a young woman around her age at the same time. And I like how she raps, and it's a breath of fresh air. But I know we'll get to
Some
her.
Houston love. Yeah.
But 50 Cent and Nicki Minaj have the thing in common with which I love. What is why I brought her up, which is I feel they're both unapologetic and exploring themselves and
Yes.
pushing themselves to their limit for good or for bad, right?
The sky
Like I
is
said
the
earlier,
limit.
you have
And
to accept the consequences that come with the things that you say and how you
mm-hmm.
put yourself out there. But
Yeah, I don't think
I
any of
think
us are on 50s politics, but we
yeah,
understand
I
where
think
he's
I
coming
like the
from.
fearlessness always and the audacity to just try, to
Yeah.
try something new. I love
What's the
that.
worst that can happen?
Exactly. I love that. I love that. So I love that about him.
It's kind of
That
wild
comes from the
how
music.
like him and Marky Mark are pretty much now giving up their music for acting.
I mean, on some level, unfortunately, and I don't know how this is in other genres, but I would say in rap and hip hop, especially for rap, you only gonna be hot like the older you get, the more the largest consumer base of hip hop rap is like young white teenagers, right? Like, and the older
Yeah.
you get, like the more out of touch with these kids you are. Like, and also not just young white teenagers. I mean, hip hop obviously is from black people for black people,
Mm-hmm.
rap, all these. But I'm just saying, like, in addition, when you start not being hot in the community and then you stop not being hot or you stop being hot to the kids who are actually gonna, probably come to the concerts and be front row and like all this other stuff, you might want to hang it up. So like 50 Cent knows
Right.
that he's on his tour right now, his final tour. I think he's calling it like final lap or something. But like, yeah, you can't do this forever. So it might behoove you to try your
I
hand
don't
at
hear
other
much of his
ventures
music
because you gotta
played.
retire. You know what I mean? Like an NBA player has to retire. Only person who
Yeah.
hasn't really had to retire, or I don't want to say only, but like few people, Snoop Dogg. But again, what did he do? Diversify. Jay-Z, another person who diversified. Drake is one of the only people that now Drake has been rapping a long time. Nicki Minaj as well.
Right.
They've been rapping since
But with
before
50, I'll hear
2000s.
remixes of In the Club, How We Do, and Candy
Yeah.
Shop, but that's
He
about
got
it.
don't disrespect 50 Cent. He got more than that. He got more than that.
I know he does, but like that's all I hear now. And I'm like,
What?
he not only he had so many different albums, so I don't know why they're only
I
playing
mean,
stuff
I
from the
don't
first two albums.
know. Out here in New York, he get played. Okay, I'm gonna say
No, he definitely does. I might
his
need to go
definitely
to
get
malls
played.
more often. I'm sure they play more of his more recent stuff.
I don't know that he has really recent. Well, he did a lot of stuff with Pop Smoke. You know what I mean? Like so, and
There
Pop
was one
Smoke was
music
a
video promoting
fantastic
Tower
up and
that
coming
came out
artist.
that I thought was good, but
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. It's just like he's not. It's like this is a person who he had his time. He was doing MTV Spring Bling in early 2000. Like you know what I mean? Like that was his time. Some people do a better job at elongating that process, like Nicki Minaj, Drake, and Lil Wayne. The whole Young Money has done an excellent job at being relevant for like decades, literally. They
you
have done a fantastic job at that.
gotta keep hustling.
You got to. You definitely have to. And but that's amazing for them to have been able to do that in the first place. So it's not many rappers who can do that. 50 Cent, I think is smart to go the direction that he's going. But like I said, he's such a businessman at this point
Yes,
that
he is.
he doesn't even have to rap anymore. And I guess that's the goal.
Right? How do you feel with all the movies he's done? How he just kept working nonstop with Millennium Films. Uh,
Love it.
he did the war movie Home of the Brave. Obviously, Get Rich or Die Trying. He pulled an Eminem, did a biopic right out the gate.
Listen, I love that.
I don't mind it.
If it were me, I would write my own story as well, and I'll play myself just so
Roger
y'all don't
Ebert
try to
loved
cast
it.
nobody
That says a
ugly when
lot.
I die.
Yeah,
Because I'd be mad if y'all cast somebody I think is unattractive if I die. I'd be like, first of all, that does not even look like me.
that's not me. Yeah.
You saw Aretha Franklin said she wanted Halle Berry to play her. Y'all have Halle Berry play me too.
Uh, that checks out. Just Paula Bear is a national icon. But
Yeah,
how
I
do you
know you like
feel?
not her, huh?
Not today. All right. Well, uh, how do you feel? Does he cut the mustard as a B action star?
50 Cent?
Yeah. I don't know how many of his
Yes,
movies you've seen.
yes. I've seen a few of his movies. I think he's a good actor. I think
I recommend Freelancers, Fire with Fire, Caught
what
in the
was that movie
Crossfire.
where he was a cancer patient, where he had to lose all that weight?
Was that the football movie I think he did?
I can't remember.
Let me look. 50
Um,
Cent cancer patient movie. Yep. All Things Fall Apart. Yeah, the football player
okay.
movie. Yeah. That
That
was all right.
when I saw him do that, I was like, okay, he's really committed to it. But always don't see necessarily actor in him. I see actor in him when he's like portraying like Kanan, but I in
Yes.
some ways feel like you're able to do this because this is who you are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not that you're adapting to a new
Hmm.
role. I feel that you're playing something you already know how to do.
Yeah, he's been wasted in a few movies. I think in that one, uh, apparently he kept rewriting and misbehaving on set that day to where director Mario Van Peebles filed uh, an incident report with the Writers Guild because he's like, dude, you're not following the script. So I,
Not the answer.
I think he's come a long way in terms of he's past the misbehaving now. Now, past 2010, 2011, I think at that point he was like, okay, now I'm going to just go into the heart of everything, just do some brutal dramas now.
I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I will say whatever he did, I'm glad he switched over. Power is an excellent show. I
Absolutely.
thought Power was and the spinoffs. I thought the spinoffs
I
were
love the whole
fantastic as
franchise. I
well.
promise you we'll do another follow-up special on the whole franchise.
Yeah,
It's hard to
yeah.
find people who actually want to sit down and talk about it. I'm like, dudes, there we got to tell the world that there's more than just the Ray Donovan and Breaking Bads of the world that are addicting TV right now.
Oh yeah, no, Power is fire. Power is really fire. BMF is good as well.
And he's got a pretty good track record. He's only had one movie that was like called Jack's Law in like '06 with Danny Trejo. They tried redistributing it again in 2014 and it still like didn't come out because I think it went to a festival, but it just never actually got released because I think the director Joe Medina was like a thug or something. It's a confusing process, but I think he has a good track record of whoever him or his agent are of making sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to do, and he shows up on set and does his thing.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was wild. I just remember reading about it on IMDb boards saying, "Don't support this movie. We didn't get paid." I'm like,
Dang.
damn. So, but he's done appearances in Southpaw, the boxing movie, the Bruce Willis film, The Prince, which I thought was decent, and the whole Escape Plan trilogy with Stallone. And he was actually supposed to have Terry Crews' Hell Caesar role in the first Expendables, but people weren't sold on him yet. So here he is
I
now at
feel
the.
like he's typecast as like a drug dealer, thug, shady
He
character,
is
gangster kind of. And I'm not saying he can't be beyond that. I just feel like
right.
I always see him in those type of roles, and those are the more successful roles of his.
Oh, totally. But I mean, in this one, he's got Megan Fox with him too. There's another one. Talk about reinventing herself like every 5 years. So I think he's kind of on
You
that same
funny.
role. I get that it's a totally different. We're talking about an actress model, but I just mean like he keeps changing, doing an about face, saying, "Hey, I'll do this. Hey, I'll do a video game. Hey,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw here that he hosted a BET like stand up session where he was like the host. I'm like, where was that? I was around.
I think I saw. Was that the roast? Was that Comic View like a
I
roast?
think so. It was like in 2017 called 50 Central.
Oh, that was on Comedy Central, wasn't it? I thought that was a roast of
This was on BET, so I'm wondering what the.
BT.
Let's look up roast 50 Cent.
I thought he did a roast on Comedy Central.
I see him in a few different verbal feuds with Madonna, but that's
Not the verbal, not the verbal fuse with Madonna.
I'm I'd love to figure that out. I'm not sure.
No, that's okay. I could be wrong. I was just curious.
I remember the Chappelle Show appearance. What's funny is growing up in high school, I had a great continuing education supervisor who was a big gamer, Mr. V, and he loved rap music and everything, and he loved even just asking us loaded questions every once in a while. What do you think about this and that? Do people get a second chance at life and everything? And he talked about how he was playing a 50 Cent video game. I think it was Bulletproof, and he was just very
Hmm.
unimpressed by the gameplay in it. But I know Blood in the Sand got some big crazy reviews because basically the premise is him and the G units go and just basically do a one-man army against the war in Iraq.
What? That's the game?
That's the game. You're killing Al Qaeda terrorists. I'm
Not
like,
they could send in G Unit into military
that's
combat.
fucking
Oh
awesome.
my gosh.
Now, I did play Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty, and I thought I heard his voice, and it was like, apparently that was him. He was one of the SEALs on the
Wow.
bridge. But I love
That
this. I
sounds
love this
crazy.
crossover. Like you say, diversity.
Well, Nicki Minaj has a
He's in one of the
character.
upcoming ones. Yeah, with
She's
Snoop
in
Dogg.
Call of Duty. Yeah, I was like, I love that for her. But also,
Looks
y'all,
like they gave her
wow.
the biggest gun too.
I'm like, y'all, wow. Y'all, wow. Who at the writer's table was like, you know who we need for this game? Nicki
Right.
Minaj. We need Nicki Minaj to sell this one.
Absolutely.
But it wasn't a bad look, though. I love Nicki.
Well, and all kudos to anybody who can just cross over. You know, she's got a fashion line and everything.
Listen, hopefully it's me one day. I would love to be Martha Stewart or something.
Right? You learn something from all these people you
I would love to be
otherwise.
something. I would love to be Martha Stewart, ma'am. Yes, I would love to be selling. I don't know, crock pots.
You got to do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
I know not all of these movies get uh, well received, but I actually didn't mind Freelancers, that Narc
I
movie
didn't
he did.
see it.
Well, I know on that one he said he just loved working with Robert De Niro those few different times, and
I like Robert De Niro too. He's
yep, he's
cool.
getting up there. But I mean, I know Forrest Whitaker talked about him in the special features a lot. They did another movie in New Orleans called Streets of Blood by that same company, and
Mm.
uh, I know Val Kilmer, ego-headed Val Kilmer said that was filmed post Hurricane Katrina, and he said he and 50 got along really well. They just totally different people, but they had a similar just approach to life, just saying help out the underdog,
Oh,
so they're
oh,
buying
I
some
love
property there.
that. I love that.
Yep. It's going to be interesting to see now that he's severed ties with stars, on the Power franchise. What is he going to produce next? Do you think? I can see him probably doing a TNT,
I
miniseries of
don't
it.
know. I wouldn't be surprised if he opened up his own thing or partner with like Tyler Perry, who Tyler Perry has his own
Yeah.
like studios in I guess Atlanta or adjacent to Atlanta or Georgia. So I don't know. I'm always open, looking forward to stuff from 50 Cent, things that he produced. I always like stuff he produced better than stuff that he's actually in. No shade to 50 Cent because I love him. But I
Yeah.
also, if he stay out of the movie and still got his hands on the movie, I'm okay with that.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I think he's going to keep evolving. I mean, I think everyone's just talking trash because it's easy.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I don't know that is the trash talk is valid. Like I feel like where is your successful hit series? Like, you know what I
Right?
mean? That's what I would be feeling
He's
like if
done
I'm
some
50
interesting
Cent.
British movies too.
See,
Off,
yeah, y'all not even I'm thinking in 3000. Where are y'all?
absolutely. And he keeps making cameos in comedies as himself. I don't
And
care
that's
for
the
his
type of
appearance in
level you want to get
Spy,
to.
but his appearance in Las Vegas,
When people want to have when
bomb.
people are paying you to be yourself in a movie, that's where I want to be.
Absolutely. Are
Snoop
you
Dogg.
Are you stoked for
Again.
the sequel to Den of Thieves? You didn't see that?
I'm just not a movie person. To be
No, it's
honest,
fine. No, it's fine.
no, because you was like, oh, you didn't see it, but
No,
which is
yes,
funny.
I did
No,
have
no,
that crazy look at my face.
I know you was like,
Oh,
girl, but
no, it's fine.
no, it's just I am not a super movie person, and it's funny because my friends make fun of me for this like all the
Don't.
time.
I'm more of a TV guy, so
I'm not a TV or movie person. Like I don't even I have a TV. I have in my apartment right now. I have a 75-inch TV that I have not turned on in like 3 weeks. And the last time and when I did watch TV, the only reason I haven't turned it on at all is because when I do watch TV, when I love to watch the news. I love current events and
there you
everybody
go.
thinks I'm crazy. But I love the news. I love watching the news. I will read the news pretty much every day. So
Hmm.
like I'm like obsessed. But other than that, I get like overwhelmed with too many show options. Unless someone's like, here's the show, like we're watching it, let's start right now. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't know the movies coming out. I don't know. I haven't been to the movies in a long time.
no, it's fine.
So I don't know.
I, having worked on a bunch of independent films and even doing extra work on professional stuff, I'm done with that. I prefer actually directing music videos.
I'm a music video director.
I just prefer compared to a short, which is either going to be swallowed up by a festival or not seen at all. I find it just way more empowering to just you tell the music artist story, you catch everyone's attention with a cool stunt or a cool camera shot, and
Yeah.
people can watch it anytime, anywhere on the internet. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's a multi diverse win instead
Yeah,
of
for sure.
just one or two things.
For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
But most people, I mean, love what you love, do what you do. I just prefer just something that you can find anytime, anywhere, instead of oh, it's leaving streaming in 5 days.
Which is this whole little cable movie streaming concept. I'm like, y'all need to figure out what y'all gonna do.
Yeah.
Because I tell y'all what, I'm not paying the same amount for cable, and then y'all not even putting new shows out like that.
Hmm.
Especially as someone who don't watch TV like that.
Well, and TV's just oversaturated, so I don't blame anyone for not getting into it in this day and age. Like, there's just so much stuff that there's shows that have been on for years that people don't even realize are still on. And can you
Hmm.
blame them?
Exactly. I agree
If you cut the
100%.
cord, then you're not going to know about it anyway. I just got into Suits because it's now on Netflix,
Oh, I love Suits.
but I don't know why I didn't watch it back in the day. But you only make so much time for so much, you know.
No, I agree. And my time is usually limited. So I'm like, wrap it up. I don't have time. The show is too long. 10 seasons. I don't have time.
There's stuff that people are getting into now that they're like, I don't know why I didn't like that back then. I'm like, I did. I looked at all the tabloids.
You are so funny.
I get that a lot too. You got to just observe and report.
You ain't saying nothing but a word, brother.
Do what you're going to do, man.
Hmm.
Have fun with it. But it's not a contest either. What do you
Yeah,
win for
yeah.
watching and vegging in front of the TV all day? Well, you kind of miss out on life. So you make time for what you're going to make out.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. If you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So it's just like
My friends can't stand
priorities.
Stranger Things or Game of Thrones. I'm like, cool. I can't stand them either. So
They
what do we
both are on
lose?
my list of things to watch. I just haven't watched them yet.
And totally. But there's no contest. Half this stuff may either live up to the hype or it won't live up to the hype. I've seen shows that I should have seen back in the day that again, they're now a thing.
Yeah, agree. I agree. I'm with you. I hear you.
Back to Den of Thieves. I think you would dig this one. It gets in and it gets out. It's a quick cops and robbers movie.
Okay, I
And
like
much
that. My
like
mom is into stuff like that.
and much like Power, I like how every side is in the gray or just plain bad. You know, like you can't blame these guys for being thieves. And you also, again, Gerard Butler and his gang of narcs. I like how instead of just going the typical heat or training day formula, like he's going it like up plane to 50. Like he's
Mm.
destroying his life, he's breaking every other rule. And uh even though there's a lot of casualties in this movie, like it was a solid hit, and it's the sequel's been in development for a while, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. Because
That'll be nice. Well, I'll have to check the first one out before the second one come out.
absolutely, and there's time. I mean, there's no telling when the sequel will actually come out, but it looks like Gerard and 50 enjoyed working together. But I think their roles were just more. I mean, Gerard had some Rocky movies at first too, where you're just like, yeah, that's just not worthy of anyone's talent. But I think again, this evolution, changing your managers and just evolve, getting better as an actor, it does have a reward. And I felt like they were just very in tune with this very fun popcorn movie, because anyone can do a cops and robbers movie, but if you just do
Right.
it well and you have fun with the plot twists, I mean, I saw it in theaters with my pal Sonia, and
Oh, nice.
we dug it. It was just, it wasn't just go and experience the shootouts and Foley. It was like, no, it's pretty twisted, and how they strip apart all this money and do all this other stuff that is going to be very intriguing.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to look. You have sold me already, so I'm looking
Okay,
forward to
perfect.
it.
Well, and you've shown me a lot about 50's other side of his persona and everything that I didn't know, and
Oh yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
about his feud with Jarul because I think at that time I had
Oh,
just
Ja Rule.
yeah,
You didn't know about his feud with Ja Rule?
because Jarul at that point was getting dissed by other people and
Oh my God,
rap
no.
battles.
50 Cent, that's how he came out. Like he came out basically, it was crazy because Ja Rule was like a huge artist
I was
of the
getting
early
distracted by
2000s.
articles about Nas and the game.
Nas. Well, it wasn't really that ended Ja Rule. It was really 50 Cent. Like Get Rich or Die Trying was basically there was actually several diss tracks about Ja Rule
Oh, I bet.
on Get Rich or Die Trying, and that was like his first like debut album. That one had like In the Club. It had Wangsta. Wangsta, I think, was about Ja Rule. Like if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me correctly, the Wangsta video was supposed to look like Ja Rule. I think. I'm not sure, but
That
like
makes sense.
basically that whole album was punking Ja Rule, and that's how 50 Cent came out. He also, and my
Wow.
brother and I were talking about this before Get Rich or Die Trying. He, 50 Cent, had a song called How to Rob, and he basically described how he would rob like all of the male rappers, celebrities. I don't think just male, but how he would rob or whatever the male celebrities, like how he would beat them, the rappers.
Yeah.
And so that
I
kind of
mean,
put him on a map, I think, with other rappers as far as his flow. But when Get Rich or Die Trying came out and he punked Ja Rule the way he did, Ja Rule, I don't think was ever able to recover from that. Like, because that
well,
is what propelled 50 Cent's career.
who else did Joe Rule get dissed by? Because I thought there was someone else he was in a feud with.
I'm sure he was in a
I know
feud with other
Eminem
people,
did
but
one called Holly's Revenge, which was a diss.
yeah, but 50 Cent and Eminem was in the same camp.
True. So it's basically tag teaming. That's so wild, though. So,
Oh yeah, Ja Rule still. I'm looking it up right now. Ja Rule discusses 2 decades long feud with 50 Cent. This was
okay.
like
So
4 months ago.
I don't know why I thought there was like a bunch of other people who were clamoring to just kick him to the curb. So, but this is the power of music and everything. And when, again, so many, just like police were getting annoyed by how they're portrayed unrealistically on TV, even though it's like, guys, we don't want propaganda to be our entertainment. We want just entertainment. And so
Yeah.
CSI is unrealistic. Guess what? That's the point of the show. But I think this was the problem in the 2000s and 2010s. By that time, you still just had people, and especially politicians, doing the baseless concern. Oh, video games and rap music inspires violence. It's like, no,
It's
stupid
so
people.
crazy they did all of that. And I'm like, and now we still end up with all these school shooters. So now whose fault is
Yeah,
this?
You won't depower the NRA, and yet you'd rather
I'm
blame
like,
every other
y'all not gonna
minority.
do anything about the guns. Y'all not voting for
Yeah.
any regulations in Congress. Y'all not passing any
Hmm.
laws. The Supreme Court is not doing us any favors. Why are y'all blaming the rap music? Why are y'all blaming the
Exactly.
video games? Why y'all not doing nothing about the guns?
It
It
just
don't make
gets,
sense.
it doesn't make sense, and they don't want it to make sense either. That's what
Duh.
angers me. I'm just
Duh.
like,
Well, if it makes sense, if they stop getting paid, how are they going to run for office? And if they're going to not going to run for office, how will they ever have your best interests at heart if they're sitting at home like you?
right? Oh my God.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if I had to be a regular person and not a Congress member? Oh my God.
Well, that's the other thing too. How do you demonetize it? Obviously, we can be.
I think you shouldn't. I think if you make over a certain threshold in Congress, I don't think you should get paid.
I
Like,
agree with that too. And
or
but
you should, or everybody should make the minimum wage. Like, and you, like, I just feel like that would change. Like, cause y'all getting, like, if it's not enough, you all are invested in private interests. You all are, you know what I'm saying? Your stock portfolio is competing with that of like hedge fund managers,
hmm,
right? Like, you already have your family's doing fine, you're doing fine. Why are we paying you another 150,
yeah,
$200,000 just to do the job you volunteered to do?
or the job you're already not doing, so
The
therefore,
job you already not doing. Like,
I need a raise. I just need a
we
pat on
need
the
a raise.
back.
Exactly. Y'all telling people what the minimum wage shouldn't be whole time. Susie's going to college off a 1 year salary that y'all
uh,
really didn't even need because y'all made $10 million off the stock market this year.
I'm feeling optimistic though. We got clowns like Pelosi and those who are messing with the stock market out of Congress now, finally. So hopefully
Do
we get less of
we?
those fools. Well, we still
I'm
got
like,
some other
we
clowns,
have
but
we have a lot of problems. AKA one of the main people running for president is probably going to jail. Like, what kind of place is this?
he's not going to be able to run. But I feel your concern though. It is valid in that we still. It's like we keep encountering people who want to encourage others to break the law, and then get even more annoyed when the other side breaks the law. And it's like, well, what? Where are we getting this lack of double standards altogether?
I
Like,
just don't like that some of the violence and things like that are attributed to music or movies or entertainment from certain people, i.e., Black people. I just don't like that. I'm like, why are y'all putting this
yeah,
national, like, oh, everything violent is coming from Black people? Like that whole narrative,
hmm,
even the drugs narrative. Like, if drugs have been approached to the opioid crisis that is ongoing today, if that approach, the compassionate approach, or even just a recognition about what's happening to young people, I'm like, why do y'all think this is happening though? In addition to the fact that, like, yes, it's an addictive drug, it's overprescribed, big
hmm,
pharma, complex, like all these things. But at the same time, what about the kids having mental health issues that they want to take this step in the first place? Like, y'all
exactly.
not even, like, there's just,
And we're too busy acting like they're the shooters, not the guns. It's like the mentally
right, y'all
handicapped
mad at
are
the
not the
kids.
shooters.
Y'all
Yeah,
mad at the kids on top of that,
uh,
with just no compassion. I'm like, these children have been in COVID, not
some of them don't
socializing.
even
Because
have kids. So
I'm like, at y'all big age, y'all have lived a long time. These children are, can you imagine growing up, your entire life is on the internet? That's unlike how we all went to school, which is things really only stayed in within the four walls of the school.
mhm.
Then on top of that, you're not even developing social skills because you're online 24/7, glued to the phone, glued to the computer, glued to the tablet. Then you can't even go to school for 2 years because of COVID. Now all of a sudden, last
Yeah,
time you saw people for real, you were 14, now you're 17.
talk about a reset.
Of course you're gonna be a little, you ain't gonna have all your marbles. What? And now why are you blaming that on the music though? Like, what does that have to do with anything? No one, especially with the rise of like all this extremist music. I'm like, y'all are not screaming at
Hmm.
anybody else. Like, why is this
Absolutely.
rap hip
Aaron
hop fault?
Lewis
Like,
of the band Stain joined a country band, and rightfully so. One of his songs did not get broadcast outside of the country music stations because, long story short, it's promoting January 6th, validating it.
Duh.
I'm like, fuck
I
you,
just
dude.
heard what's the Richmond, north of Richmond or something like that. I heard and read about that song and I was just like, why is nobody screaming that the
It's
guy
a
who
white
made the
guy. He gets a
song,
pass. No.
the guy who made the song, don't try that in a small town or something like that. I think that those are the words.
Oh
I'm
my
just
God.
like, y'all ain't screaming at him. Why is he not ruining the country? No one's screaming at heavy metal. Nobody mad when we saying go smash your head into a wall. Like no one's saying mad about that.
Right. Promoting all these sundown type towns too is like
Sundown.
that is
I'm like,
dangerous.
do y'all know what that is? That is lynching from slavery. That is lynching from slavery.
And just because it's country does not mean you get off scot-free. You can have a valid southern town that isn't
You
like
can
it used
be
to.
a person who likes country music and not be racist. Like the things are not, you know what I'm saying? Like you do not have to be a racist person to like country music. In fact, there are tons of people who are not racist who love country music and make country music. But that's just not the people we talking about. I want the people we talking about, they need to get blamed for some of this stuff too. And I'm just like, well, I just need to see equal opportunity. That's all I'm saying. If y'all gonna blame the music, blame all the music.
Blame the ones that are legit promoting violence.
But also blame the guns. Like blame
the guns.
Please blame because I'm just like we want to fix everything else but the problem.
Absolutely. I'm also just tired of comedians in general saying, "Oh, I'm getting canceled." Then come up with better material instead of promoting sexism and racism in your stand-up act.
And that's the thing. I'm like, y'all, it's lazy comedy. I'm like, yes, there's comedy that comedy inherently makes fun of people, pokes fun at situations, but there's people who are artful about it and people who are not artful about it. And if you just not talented, just say that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't try to
I'm out of ideas.
Don't try to say I'm not funny and I'm sensitive because you're not funny. Like, tell a better joke.
Right? No shit. Oh my God.
Period.
This has been a great dissect of 50, and I'm glad he hasn't had to deal with any continuous issues like what we're talking about now.
Yeah, no, they 50
I'm
Cent
sure
is a
he's
troll.
he's definitely a troll online, and it's wild how I didn't realize he had like an on and off again like dating friendship with like Vivica Fox. And
you didn't know he was dating Vivica back in the day?
I just was not talked about. I was distracted by Vivica's TV career, but I know she just kept releasing.
Oh,
I know. I was under a rock.
You missed that whole thing.
This is back
he
when
was
she
popping
was
out with her because I
direct-to-video.
think she was a little bit older than him.
Right. And
they popped out together. They had wore like a matching outfit to like, I want to say like the MTV Awards.
Well, I keep seeing her just hook up with him like at just more recent events and talk about how it was a very
He got a girlfriend now.
Well, I think this was before his current friendship. Like she was in a recent interview saying she had no regrets about it. It was just a very cool time in her life. I'm like, see, that's cool.
Oh yeah, I do see that Vibe magazine. It says she may be willing to spin the block on her entertainment mogul ex-boyfriend.
Because she's doing everything: reality TV hosting, and more movies and TV. So
she is doing everything, but I also be feeling like, you will make certain concessions when you feel like your relevance is running out. Not saying that she's not relevant. I'm just saying, like, I know she does Fox Soul. I think that's her. I think
so.
Fox Soul
Fashion line.
He looked real. I'm looking at pictures of them together.
She was on an episode of Blackish recently. That was really hysterical.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, Dion Cole, long story short, gets married to her.
Oh, for real? Okay.
But she was playing a fictional version of herself, and that's why it was kind of funny. You're like, oh, okay. What celeb do you have a crush on, Dion? Vivica. Oh, make it happen.
Vivica Fox, yeah. Yeah, no, no, I'm looking at them. They looked cute together for the time they was together, but they ain't together no more. Yeah, because Vivica Fox gonna tell his current girlfriend don't get nervous after she made the comment about it. She said some don't get nervous, girl.
Jealousy is in the air.
See, I wish she would. I think Cuban Link is 50 Cent's girlfriend nickname. Cuban, her name is Cuban Link, and she's younger. She's probably in her mid-20s, early to mid-20s.
Maybe
So
Vivica should be
obviously,
on Power Book 5.
yeah, I'm like, he 50 Cent is obviously a sugar daddy at this point. I mean, he is. I'm serious. I'm gonna tell you how old.
That's wild. Uh,
No, I'm serious.
I agree. I had never heard that,
It's
so
just crazy.
I'm
No,
just
he's definitely a
reacting to
sugar
it because
daddy.
I'm just
Cuban Link, 50
man,
Cent age. Let's see.
that is nutty. And it's
So
wild
she is
how
27
oh damn.
and he is 48.
Oh wow.
I mean,
Oh,
she grown. She 27, I guess. I don't know.
people
My
don't
daddy
care
might
about age
go
anymore.
crazy if I was dating a 50-year-old. I ain't gonna hold you. If I came home with a 50-year-old, my father would be like, "Hello, sir. What are you doing here? You must be here to change something, fix something. You
Are
must be
you
here
the
to do something.
landlord? What are you doing here?
Yeah, you must be here to do something." But yeah, though.
Oh,
Mm.
that is nutty. Are you going to see his final farewell concert, or is it sold out already?
Probably not. Well, I don't think it's sold out. I didn't know what was going on until I seen a post online the other day, and
I only heard about it from the radio.
he said, so you know how Drake is having his concert touring right now as well. 50
Vaguely.
Cent said, "Why don't women throw bras at his concert like they do for Drake?"
Wow. That sounds
So I'm
jealous right
assuming
there.
I'm assuming it's not sold out if you saying that.
Gotcha.
So
Well, spread that haterade around. Get some tickets.
not the haterade.
Whatever makes a 50 cent concert sell. I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
It's wild how kind of like Prince, we're okay with him kind of breaking the rules and no one really cares. That's just kind of part of his persona. Well, when someone else
Well,
does
I
it.
think it's like, I mean, not that they're the same at all, but I think it's kind of like Trump. Like in some ways, your shameless behavior is
Hmm.
why you have people being like, you can't, he's not going to go, you can't shame someone into changing their behavior. And once you've lost the element of shame, as we see with
Right?
our politicians, once you lose the element of shame, what are you going to do to cancel somebody? You can't cancel them after they don't care.
There you
Like, you
go.
know what I'm saying? Like, it only matters if they're going to be like, oh, like, let me issue an apology. Let me go into hiding. Let me not say anything. Like, let me just chill. But if you don't
That's a good
care,
point.
what you gonna do? What y'all gonna do to me? What? Ask Trump. He said, "What? They trying to put me in jail? Send money."
The victim card. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, he said, "Send money." They always trying to cancel somebody. Send money.
Oh, well, I'll send money for 50 cent. I'm not sending any money to any politician.
50 Cent don't need send money to me. 50 Cent don't need your money. I need your money.
Well, he did file Chapter 11. You didn't ever hear that joke where he
Yeah,
was
you
like,
know why though?
now he
You know
really is.
why? So he didn't have to pay his obligations, his
I'm
financial
sure.
obligations. That was a tax filing. That bankruptcy, if you just claim bankruptcy on paper, and if you don't have any other assets in your name, but let's say all of my assets are in a trust, what do I care?
And yet Wesley Snipes goes to jail, and yet he gets
Exactly.
off.
I'm the beneficiary of the well, you can't just not be paying the taxes though. I think that's what he did. He just like was like, no.
Well, I think he also had just a crappy agent who wasn't. He didn't have his back.
But you gotta at some point you gotta see your tax returns. Like, are y'all really doing this?
Yeah, I don't know what games they're playing, but
Yeah, for sure.
oh man. Well, that has been a very fun summary of a rule breaker. Anna, where can we find you on the social interwebs?
There goes Anna. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, but on my TikTok is only sewing content. As you can see, I'm in my sewing room. So if you are interested in sewing content, fashion content, there goes Anna on TikTok, but there goes Anna on everything else for everything else.
Nice. Very awesome. Very awesome. Everyone, check it out.
We'll return after these messages.
Hey, it's Brent Pope, the host of Breakfast with Brent Pope. You've seen me on some of your favorite TV shows saying things like, "Give it up, Jimmy. You got to sink this putt to win." On Breakfast with Brent Pope, I sit down with guests from the entertainment world, and we do it all over breakfast. Or should I say Brentfast? Every week on Brentfast, you get inside Hollywood info and tips, great breakfast recs and foodie debates. Most of all, you get the most delightful 30 minutes of your week. So dig in. It's Brentfast time. Listen at Brentfast.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
Do you ever find yourself thinking about who would win in a fight between Goku and Superman? Hi, I'm James Gavsey, and on the Who Would Win show, me and my co-host Ray ignore anything important happening in the outside world and debate fictional battles between characters from comics, movies, and video games.
We got a new show every week, and almost always am I the winner.
Yeah, not true, Ray.
In the past, we've discussed such matches as Captain America versus Darth Vader, Solid Snake versus the Iron Giant, classic matchups like RoboCop versus Terminator, and even the Muppets versus Sesame Street.
That one was crazy. So if you're a fan of geek culture and love a spirited debate, check out the Who Would Win show wherever you get your podcasts, or check us out at whowouldwinshow.com.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up